Hi. I think this is the second time I am on the same stage talking about Aadhaar. Last year I came for a FOSS meet at NITC. The initial talk was on fairness and AI and big data, and we used a lot of examples on how Aadhaar as a big data platform affects democracy and kills even citizen rights, consumer rights, and even fairness. From a more technical perspective, today I'll be talking mostly on why Aadhaar is a defective by design system, and I'll be interested more in your comments and your questions than talking too much from my side. So, let me start from the point in which we stopped earlier. So, I'm just telling a story of a case in Kanpur. So one day when I am looking through my LinkedIn profile, I came up a post from UP's CID officer posted about arrest of 10 people. 10 people who are making fake Aadhaar enrollment software. So this sounds curious because we all know that the fingerprint cloning is very easy, and fingerprint it just needs some silica gel or Fevicol. That's pretty easy process, but a gang making profit by selling software and fake fingerprints is something not usual, right? So I asked my media friends in Delhi to follow up the case, and next day all the media public came up with bigger headlines. So the details of the case, the UP police press release we got, the details is this. So there is a kingpin who is part of UIDAI's ecosystem itself, who runs biometricshop.in. It's a website which sells biometric enrollment software for all the vendors all over India for rupees 5,000. And as a part of an enrollment, many of you went through the enrollment process. Enrollment process is, for every details you enter, they have to verify with your with the enrollment operator have to verify your data with their fingerprint as well as iris scan. So this system replaced by a software hack. Software hack is, if any of you are from the computer science background, and you all must be experienced about how devices are created. So if a USB drive is plugging into a system, so the USB drivers are developed in such a way that if this is present, they act in this way, kind of thing. So biometric check on iris was local check. It was not a network check. So if the biometric check was true, the software will function. They created, just like any Windows software crack, they created a crack saying that if the result is false, consider it as true and recompile the software. So the biometric checks problem is solved. Then the second level of issue was the fingerprint. They cloned the fingerprints and sold it along with the kits. So, and the kits and fingerprints for the enrollment agents was sold at a price of 5,000 rupees, and it is a 10-member gang operating. How high is the failure is? For example, in Kerala itself, there is a data set available for dairy welfare farmers. So mostly the milk farmers who are 60 to 80 age, they are getting pension every year, provided that they have to provide Jeevan Praman every year. They need to prove that they are living every year, and they have to authenticate against their biometrics every month to get the pension. So the data scraped from its website shows us 67% failure rate. There are people who went to, for example, there are two women in Alapi went every month, almost every alternative day, to get their rations, and every time biometric fail. So only after this became a news in national media, they got their 2 years of pension. So, and this rate is not just one district. Every district have similar failure rate all over Kerala, and we are implementing electronic PDS distribution using same kind of systems, EPOS systems. So, yeah, let's come back to the biometrics part. The biometrics is available for everyone. Not everyone, for at least for most of the people. There are people without biometrics. There are people with not usable biometrics. So, but anyway, at least for a lot of people, biometrics is available. But at the same time, if you are deduplicating against biometric, that create another level of problem, because biometrics is the board is. If you are entering to a unique ID project based upon the country biometrics, people from outside India can also come to India and create Aadhaar. Biometrics can be imported. Biometrics failure, the technology's failure is also creates extra level of problems. So we don't want to live in a country like total border control, total surveillance, total prevention of people's traveling, total control of your bank accounts, your mobile account, everything. So this is let's come back to the data sets part. So why government wants data sets to be everything to be linked with Aadhaar? So a data set is relevant for some kind of surveillance, mostly if that gets most relevant data. Most relevant data means that need to be contemporary also. So if government wants total control on as a citizen, they want your bank account data, they want your mobile data, they want your call record data, they want your subsidy data, everything. And having Aadhaar, not having Aadhaar is a crime. Having Aadhaar and not using it is a crime. Then only they can ensure that total surveillance is possible. And in that way, the database is becoming something like a kill switch. So they can select someone at some point of time and deactivate Aadhaar. This already happened. There are a lot of deactivations happened, and there is no justification for any of the Aadhaar deactivations. So the UIDA itself is admitting that there are a lot of deactivation is happening. And they don't know why it is happening. They don't even tell us what is happening. And the only entity which can complain is UIDA itself, and they only have the right to file an FIR on top of it also. So in the context of Cambridge Analytica and similar discussion, let's come back to this. So how elections are, there are discussions on linking voter ID card with Aadhaar in one level. There are discussions on linking Aadhaar with everything, including driving license, linking Aadhaar with cards, linking Aadhaar with health data, everything. So in that way, Aadhaar is becoming a data set much bigger than any of the existing other data sets, which may be much dangerous than Facebook, with more contemporary data than anything else. Because for an election, your last 3 months data may be more relevant on a decision making point than previous times. And UIDA always keeps total secrecy around what collected on Aadhaar. They sometimes say they collect only some level of data. But if you get to the newborn enrollments, you can clearly see that they collect family tree data, even for parents' Aadhaar data for the newborn enrollments. For death certificates, they collect their family data in a similar way. So where all this data goes? And there is no clarity. UIDA says they keeps the logs, but they say CIDR is minimal, but at the same time, where this data stores? Nobody have an answer. So in the same way, using the UIDA number, each state have different projects which are subsets of CIDR, that is called as state resident data hubs. For example, Kerala have an SRDH, Telangana have an SRDH. Most of the 14 states in India have similar SRDH. Andhra Pradesh have, Gujarat have. This Bhamasha project in Rajasthan is an SRDH. By the way, the recent Tribune leak happened actually from the Bhamasha SRDH path also. So all these database, what they do is against you must be familiar with the concept of primary key. So using Aadhaar as a primary key, they collect all this data together, merge it together, and keep it on a state reference data hub. And UIDAI have a technical framework called Remote Aadhaar Seeding Framework, through which they seed all this data and manages the data in a central store as well. So they say still they are a minimal database. And when we questioned all these things, what they did is they deleted all the technology documents from their website. So now, if you need to get this document, go to archive.org, search for the UIDAI's technical documents. So archive.org is an internet archive project which document most of this data. So there are. So and they mention a lot about data security, but at the same time, every registrar are allowed to keep their enrollment data themselves. Every registrar usually encrypt the data they collected. A registrar means enrollment agencies. They encrypt the key with two levels. One is encrypted and sent to UIDAI, and other is sent to state reference data hub. So state reference data hubs are mini CIDRs with the people in the state data. So now none of the UIDAI's laws would mentioning about SRDH. A lot of leaks are happening from SRDH. UIDAI will say CIDR is secure. CIDR is a Center Information Data Center, data repository. So they say that there is 13 feet wall and 5 foot thickness to store the data in the secure data center. So that's a kind of narrative they are building around their data. But at the same time, RISF is leaking even every enrollment agent in the country had a facility to view anybody's Aadhaar number in this country. So this is for example, Aadhaar enrollment software itself have a relative search field, but the relative is not a defined concept. So the result is, you can go to any enrollment center, search for any name as a relative, and maybe I can search for a Joby. I can get up thousands of Jobys in Kottayam, for example, and I can select one Joby and print his Aadhaar card using the relative search option in the Aadhaar enrollment software. It's already there, and there are YouTube demos on how this feature works. So these kind of leaks existed much before the Rajana Ghaira report itself. So even there is no need of spending 500 rupees to buy any Aadhaar data. So these are verifiable information already available with enrollment center software, which you can also download and install yourself on your system. But authentication, you may need a fingerprint. That's the only problem for that. So the YouTube demos clearly demonstrate how you can use the relative search option and find. But anyway, Indian media is not interested in reporting anything on the data part or data leak part usually, unless foreign media picking it up. So, yeah, let's come back to the next level of issue, which is what is the problem with Aadhaar. So it's not the data surveillance alone. It's about governments are mimicking the corporates, and corporates are becoming the states. So one side in the Cambridge Analytica, we are seeing Facebook is becoming a state kind of entity which have much more population than some of the countries in the world, and they controls the people in such a way that government controls the people. And they are, for example, when the leak appeared, their response is like, we told them not to save the information, they did it, and we will cancel their license and those kind of things. Is a response when the leak appears for the Cambridge Analytica. While coming to, but in India, what happens is, state is a trusted trusted entity. This trusted entity is making a way in which they can collect a lot of data from the people, just like a Google or Facebook. They are saying that you are giving data to Google, you are giving data to Facebook. So in the same way, the state is creating a lot of data, collecting a lot of data, using that trust for it within the citizens, and using the eKYC and eKYC and other kind of APIs. This data is handed over to the corporates in the same way. This is why, and Aadhaar is more dangerous than what Facebook knows. So, and in the Aadhaar, you don't have a way to delete data. Facebook, you can still delete account and move on, or create multiple accounts. Nobody asks you to create a Facebook account. But at the same time, in Aadhaar, it's a mandatory push. It is mandatory linked with everything, and you don't have a delete option. Because and whatever Aadhaar collects, the same data is available for Jio, same data is available for Airtel, or anybody with a eKYC license, or their sub agencies, or their illegal sub agencies, or and just after the enrollment ecosystem I already covered. But coming back to the KYC ecosystem, when initially Aadhaar starting, they said that it will be a yes or no response alone. The yes or no response changed into a way in which they are giving out every data through eKYC. And e-sign is a technology they later designed, but nobody uses that technology, and they are still also not planning to use the technology anywhere. So eKYC till last year February, they were giving out information such as your including your mobile and phone number. Now, as a part of their improved security measures, they removed the phone number and email ID sharing. But if there is a data out mechanism, including your Aadhaar number, coming through eKYC, which is what resulted in most of the databases storing Aadhaar numbers, apart from the welfare projects. Welfare projects, there is a remote Aadhaar seeding framework, did it in all these kind of things. So eKYC itself becomes something like signing a blank check. So there are cases like students going to the entrance coaching center, and the entrance coaching center asks you to bring Aadhaar, and against the Aadhaar, using the biometric authentication, they partner with a loan agency, and they take money from the loan against Aadhaar from the third-party loan providing agency. And if student discontinues, he still have to pay the amount, because it's a loan against his Aadhaar number. So these kind of misuse of consent is very common within Aadhaar system. In Aadhaar, consent is a yes or n value without any purpose. So it can be designed for they don't have, they can't control why Aadhaar number is used for what purpose. So when there was a case last year, like Abhinav Srivastava, an Ola employee who created a mobile app called eKYC.mygov or something. So Aadhaar.eKYC.mygov, through which you can enter your Aadhaar number, and you can see what is your data on Aadhaar server. So how that functioned is very easy to understand. So we after the FIR is filed, we also gone through how he did the same thing. So the solution, the way was this. The NIC have an app called eHospital. eHospital app, if you are familiar with Android, you can understand that Android apps is as same as website apps. You can see the source code with the decompiling. So with the decompiling, we understood that there is no encryption, or there is no even HTTP usage within the app. So whatever available in Aadhaar server is available as available through HTTP queries to the app with a hard-binded username and password within the app. So he used this for creating his own backend in Google Apps, and created a separate mobile app which will show the same information using the eKYC backend. And This eKYC authorization itself can be misused in a wider way for taking loans, taking identity fraud, because even opening bank account, everything. Luckily, anyway, Abhinav Srivastava says he didn't done any of that, and anyway now he got released, because if they have to take a case against him, automatically NIC will be also a culprit. So there is no action taken. After a lot of news generation, the case got closed. I recently met him also. So he just explored the vulnerability and created an app which is showing the same eKYC authentication. So just think about an attack service. So he could have automated the same thing and created a lot of eKYC requests using your mobile OTP verification permissions, and take loans or opening the bank accounts or opening the mobile numbers or anything with the same thing, because there is no proper recording of informal consent, and the eKYC itself is a flawed thing, because the encrypted response supposed to be coming from eKYC is not actually encrypted in the NIC's backend. So these kind of issues are very common within the Aadhaar ecosystem. In the same way, one of my friend Anand, he analyzed one of the website called Aadhar API, which is even serving Aadhaar APIs to IBM and similar companies. And as a result of his analysis and a simple medium blog post on the same, that company got closed down, because all their clients came to know that it's not secure, and you can malwarize the whole Aadhaar KYC APK, and the company itself got shut down. So this tendency is very common within the Aadhaar ecosystem, and is there any way to secure it? There is no way to secure it at this point. Encryption will not solve it. No, it is not to solve it, because the Aadhaar numbers are out in public. Aadhaar number is not a public information, not supposed to be a public information. It is supposed to be a private information, but it is available to everybody. And Aadhaar authentication, what you need is just a fingerprint, which is available from a glass of water I just drank. Anyway, luckily I don't have an Aadhaar. So the biometrics itself is a private, it's not a secret. Anybody can capture anybody's biometrics as easy as taking a fingerprint from a wall or a device or anything. And we are opening our bank accounts, opening our identification system, everything for this kind of a fraud, along with more technical issues on top of it, technical incapabilities on top of it. It's a badly designed product. It can be improved or not. The only answer is it can be only scraped, and biometrics is no longer usable in India as a authentication mechanism, because biometric leaks are very common. In Gujarat, all the PDF database biometrics information got leaked. Biometric leaks are happening from all over the country, all over the places. People are capturing the biometric data on their own databases. So the biometrics as a authentication mechanism itself got flawed. Already need for understanding a marriage between two private individuals. So in the same way, your caste certificate, your Aadhaar, your PAN number, your income certificate, your bank accounts, your bank account statements, your credit card statements, your insurance statements, your whatever government document issued to you will be going to the DigiLocker. And in the same way, Airtel got Aadhaar numbers, the Airtel got the consent for opening the bank account without your knowledge. The same biometric authentication will provide similar consent to the DigiLocker to all your data, and they can build a credit score or social score or risk score. These are not some new numbers, new names. These are already part of the specs of UPI and Bharat bill payment system. UPI is the payment method. Bharat bill payment system is the bill payment method. All of them are owned by another entity called National Payment Corporation of India. So these kind of scores will be created against your all transactions, including your 10th standard CBSE score or your PSC examination, UPSC examination results. All of them will be stored into the DigiLocker, and any private party can get access to this information with a thumbprint from you. So this is the kind of system we are building up now. And 2 days back, Nandan Nilagani came to a conference in Kochi and saying that you can barter your data to get the benefits. So this is like you are creating treating citizen as a total data point and using your logs with or without your knowledge. It's as same as China government planning to use social scores based upon your social media profiles, maybe much higher than that. Everybody got scored using the DigiLocker. And whenever you are using your Aadhaar number at various points of service, including government and private, the data sets are available against you, and you can't delete any of this data. What maximum you can do is move the DigiLocker instance from ICICI Bank to Kotak Bank. So that kind of a portability is the only option you have. So that's the way happening currently.